Hello, ladies. You've got 7 seconds. Yeah, 7 seconds to light up a room. And what in the heck do I mean? What I mean is that while you're out and about and you walk into a room, you've got about 7 seconds. In fact, some researchers say you've got like a tenth of a second. So today I want to talk about this and how this impacts your dating life. So if you are noticing that you're not getting the kind of results that you want, or you're not even getting attention from men, there are probably several things that are happening. Either you are from the inside out, not in alignment with a heart's desire to really find your man, because maybe you're feeling insecure or you're feeling unlovable. So that's the head game. That's the inside out journey. Okay. Or quite possibly it's what I call the outside in journey, which is your looks. What kind of clothes are you wearing? How's your hair? How do you walk into a room with your presence? What's your posture like? I mean, it's crazy to think that people are summing us up like that. And it's unfortunate. And yet this is the world that we live in. I have recently, I remember my daughter saying something during the debates, and my husband, we were actually at the kitchen table, and my husband was talking about when one of the women that was running, and her first question, this is like, she was 8 years old. Her first question was, well, what was she wearing, Daddy? And it's like, she didn't ask about, I mean, she's young, but she didn't ask about the woman, about her credentials. Not that an 8-year-old's going to say, what are her credentials? But her initial response was, well, what was she wearing, Daddy? And she didn't ask what the men were wearing. It's very, very fascinating. So I think it's really, really more important in some ways, for, not more important, but for women to be more conscious of when they walk into their room, is their inner essence matched by their outer presence? That's good. Is their inner essence matching their outer presence? And I can tell you, for many years, okay, I'm going to take you back in time. And I'm going to tell you what a dear friend of mine taught me, Billy, and I think I was about in 9th grade. And it was a sick day for me, and I wasn't feeling good. And what Billy told me that day is, he goes, I've got the greatest solution for you. He said, here's what I do, and here's what my mom taught me when I wasn't feeling good, or I was having a bad day, or I wasn't feeling real confident. He said she would have him go in and put on a suit. And Billy was not like the flashy dresser at all. So hearing this come from like my friend from the beach that I would just see in t-shirts and shorts throughout the summer was telling me that he would put on a suit, which just shocked me. And he said, you know what, every time I did it, I would feel better, even if I was feeling like physically ill. And so it really speaks to what you wear and how it impacts your confidence, your self-esteem. And if you are a single woman dating or wanting to date and wanting to find beautiful partnership, this is something that you need to consider. I wish it weren't true. I mean, truly. If you know a little bit more about my background, I am a mountain girl. I love to ski. I love to be in the woods. And at one point in time, I loved my Birkenstocks. Okay, so fashion has never been at the forefront of my mind. In fact, for decades now, I've been taking the inside journey, from the inside out. Things like meditating and going to personal growth seminars and finding how to be healthier and to have a positive mindset and being optimistic and visualizations and all of those things. That's all the inside journey. And it's something I truly specialize in, helping women with the inside journey. And so given that I've had decades of working on that work, I do know the importance of first impressions. And yet so many of the women that I work with, including myself sometimes, there's like this resistance, like, I don't want to wear makeup. I don't want to get dressed up. I just would love to just hang out in t-shirts and sweats all the time. And there's a time and a place for that. But if you're looking for your man and you're looking for partnership, men are very visual, and whether we like it or not, just like my daughter at the age of 8 asking, well, mommy, what was the presidential candidate, what was the woman wearing? We are judged by what we wear. In fact, Alison Armstrong, who is someone who I love to follow, and her dating advice and stepping into the queendom, she says that actually on a first date, that a man will sum you up so fast. In fact, I don't know if she said 30 seconds, but I do know it's a very short amount of time. And it's not so much that the man knows, are you, the woman that he's going to marry? That's just too soon. But what research has shown is that in a very short amount of time on that first date, he will judge whether or not he feels that you could be in that category. And it doesn't matter how old you are. It's just like the men sum it up actually faster, supposedly, than the woman can often, kind of judge the man. So it's like instantaneous. I know that Malcolm, is it Gladwell? He wrote the book. Now I'm blanking. But anyway, I remember reading his work on how people can, those first impressions of, like, for example, knowing if artwork is authentic, that internal instinct, especially given an upbringing and an academic study of certain things, that intuition that people have. And so in a moment's notice, men and women are deciding, do they like you? Do they trust you? And what is the overall impression that you're giving them? And obviously we know there's several signals, anything from your voice intonation to the way you make eye contact, all those subtleties. But today I really want to focus on really the physical, like the things that we don't like to think about women. And when I say we don't like to think about it, as women, we can often be insecure about certain body parts and how we feel and things that we don't feel like we have control over. But let's just talk about, like, purely that first impression, that the things that you do have control over. And so I can tell you recently, I've been in the past couple of weeks through some really fun experiences. One of which, I hired an image consultant and I had a VIP day with her. And I'm not going to go into the details today, but it was an amazing experience. It's an experience that I wish that every single woman could have, because an image consultant can really know what really works for you. And what really stood out for me is on that day, we were sitting down talking about the inside out journey that I've been committed to for so many years, helping myself and the women in my community. I mean, that's an area I feel like I've developed over decades an expertise in, the inside out. But she said, what I do is I really help men and women, help them with the outside in approach. And I was like, whoa, and my mind stopped, my eyes probably got real big, and I was like, it was like stunned. Because for so long I have been on the journey of the inside out. And yet here she comes along as a specialist specializing in the outside in. So here are some things I would love for you to consider. A lot of times it's like the little things. I'm also going to tell you what I was willing to do to prepare for. I had my first photo shoot in a studio recently. In fact, I'm getting ready to get the images to use in my business. And my husband was telling me, he said, oh, the photographer, which is the same one we used for engagement shots and for getting married, and then after we had our daughter, we used them for that. He said he's even gonna have a fan, like the whole like wind in the hair thing. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like, whoa, this is like, seems to be like a big deal. And I noticed my insecurities come up. I'm not a model. And yet we have the opportunity to put our best foot forward. And so for me, this outer and hiring an image consultant and getting new photos for my business is I am committed for the outside in to match the inside out. And that's what I want for you too. So many women I work with, when we start working together, especially if they're feeling depressed, we start working on that inside game, what's going on in their minds. And again, you could always do the Billy trick. And the Billy trick is go and put some clothes on that you feel beautiful, that you feel absolutely beautiful in. And it's amazing how better you'll feel. And many of these women, they're wearing like clothing that's like way too big for them. They're wearing their pajamas everywhere, and they're wondering, why can't I seem to get any male attention? And yet, even just small things like, okay, before you go out, you don't have to get all done up. Although if you're looking for a man, I highly recommend it. But, just to be mindful, wear clothes that you feel good in. If you're starting to get out in the dating world again, it might be time to go through your closet and pull out the stuff that you either don't like anymore, as Marie Kondo, her name is escaping me, but it's the clutter clearing gal, Marie Kondo, I think that's her name. And she would say, if something doesn't bring you joy, get rid of it. And that goes for your clothing too. So you should be able to go through your clothing, and if it doesn't bring you joy, get it out of there, okay? And so I want you to start to explore feeling joyful in the clothes that you wear. And so going through and starting to get rid of some things is very helpful. Maybe going to the store and buying like one outfit or two outfits that you feel beautiful in. So start to prepare for the dates you're going to be asked on. And when you put those clothes on, you feel fantastic, okay? And so I want you to have those things in your wardrobe. So here's the little thing that I was willing to do. And really, I did this for you ladies. And what I mean by that is I've always been like, I really don't like getting your nails, having to get your nails done all the time. It seems excessive. Also, getting your eyebrows or your chin hairs or your lips. Well, as you get older, as I've gotten older, I was told that, okay, then you need to get waxing done. And I was resistant. It's not my favorite thing to do. But for the first time in my life, I got a lip wax. And it hurt. It really hurt. And so for those ladies out there that are listening and you've got a little stash going on, you might want to get it fixed. I didn't have a major one. I've got mostly blonde hair, but still, it's like the finishing touches. Remember, I told you, people will decide if you're likable, can they trust you? And you can think of it as kind of like the finishing touches. So it's like what you're wearing. You want that inner spirit to be able to shine, so you be your best self. And you want the outer to be in alignment with the inner. And then when you walk in the room, you will shine. And so some of these small grooming habits can make all the difference. Sometimes just like a little bit of jewelry. It's kind of like at Christmas time, you can package, then gift wrap the package. But how more beautiful is it if you tie a beautiful bow, the finishing touches? So that's like grooming, getting your nails done. So here's about the wax, is that I had this done on Thursday. And as I said, it hurt and it got really, really red. So I walked around all day Thursday and Friday, and even Saturday morning, it was still red and it felt like numb. And I was at that point, I was like angry, like, really, as women, we need to do this? Do we really need to be doing this for beauty? And I was angry. I'm the first one to share it. And I think even a part of me, the old Birkenstock girl, was even, rebelling that to put myself all together. Like, I enjoy doing it. And at the same time, the rebel in me doesn't want to feel that I have to. So of course I don't. And so if you're wanting to really find your man, find your match, it's this dance of like finding what put together is like for you, optimizing your features and the willingness, on a regular basis, whether it's getting your hair done or your nails done, or maybe, anything that you feel really would help you to feel more beautiful. Because here's what I want for you. I want you to be able to shine your light brightly. And the difference between someone who can shine their light brightly and if they're covered up in, like, you know, the hoodie and the heavy sweats, it's like that woman can be hard to see. She's making herself invisible. And so my heart's desire for you is for you to start thinking about that outside in, that how many seconds do you have? 7. You have 7 seconds to make a difference. And as we said, if you're going on a date, that man that you're going on a date with, you know, whether he realizes it or not, he's determining, well, is she a woman that's worthy of courtship? Is she a woman that maybe could be in my future? And if he doesn't feel it, he might kind of keep you around for a while, but notice that he won't call you back. He doesn't respond to text messages. You're kind of like waiting, waiting, waiting. A man who desires you, lean in. He will court you. He will reach out to you. He will be asking you on dates. So that is the kind of man that really there's potential match there for you. Okay, ladies, so really start thinking about how can you get your inner alignment, you know, your desire to be fully yourself, with the outer, and the outer is the clothes that you're wearing, the size of your clothes, potential jewelry, makeup, your hair. It might be time to call over a girlfriend and have her go through your closet with you to get feedback. We as women, we work great together. And so sometimes it's just a matter of getting that feedback, you know, because what you might think looks, you know, good or bad, a friend might have a totally different viewpoint. So just getting that feedback can be really, really positive. I want you to be going on these dates feeling fantastic. So if you like what you saw today, be sure to like the video. Join us on Transformational Tuesdays. And if you want some support around dating and feeling irresistible, be sure to click the link below, meetme.so/Dr. Kelly, DrKelly. And we'll be sure to support you and see how we can help you to become more irresistible. I'm Dr. Kelly Martin Shue, Amazon bestselling author, speaker, and transformational coach for women. Have a fantastic day.